What is up, guys? Welcome back to another daily build video. This time we're checking out the Nissan 370Z Drift Edition. Let's go. Real quick before I get into the video, if you're looking for any of my Motorfest tunes or my Need for Speed Heat builds, I've moved everything to my website. It's militiagamingco.com. There's links in the main navigation menu for Need for Speed Heat builds and Motorfest Pro settings, so click those if you're looking for that. The link to the site is actually in the description of this video. All right, enjoy. So in honor of this week's Drift Summit and the new Drift playlist, I've been testing a lot of drift cars, and now I'm getting an idea on how these cars compare to each other. And so I'm just, taking in all of this information, trying to formulate my best drift cars list. However, we still have a lot more to test. So that being said, let's talk about how this car fares in both the drift and the race categories. The reason I do this is because oftentimes in summits, we use a car that is a drift car, but it's on a race. And so you kind of need two builds for that. You can't take a drift specific build or tune and then take that into a race. I guess you could, but it's not going to do as well as if you tune it specifically for racing. And honestly, each course probably needs its own tune, which is crazy to think of because I'm not going to tune this thing 100 times for each of the races. We just go into the summit, see what kind of changes we need to make, and then in the summit guide I'll give you my final tune. But this tune is going to be sort of where we're starting, and then we make adjustments from there. So starting with the race tune, let's take a look here. We've got the brake balance at 40%. We move into the suspension. I'm at plus 10 on both front and rear, plus 8 on both compression, front and rear. And then for the rebound, plus 8 both front and rear. Now for the anti-rolls, we're at plus 10 on both front and rear, and the alignment, minus 0.25 on both of the cambers, front and rear. It is a pretty balanced car. This feels the best to me. It is a little bit twitchy still, and if you're not a fan of that at all, take this ARB front and drop it to 0. It'll make the car feel a little bit more stable in the turns. However, it does limit the car's ability to turn. So like when you get through the turn, you feel like you're understeering everything, and that's kind of weird in a drift car. But at the same time, if it's more controllable to you, you run faster times, drop this to 0. All right, let's get out to Scotto versus Scotto, which is my drift race test course, and see what we can do here in the video. All right, my fastest time on this is a 2:36.805. Can we beat it? That's the question. We're gonna have to shift if we want to beat it. That's usually recommended while driving and racing in general, is to shift. Oh, that's beautiful. Here we go, dude. Let's see. Now this car really doesn't have the same type of acceleration that the Hoonigan cars do. So on the last videos we did, we were kind of going crazy on those, especially in some of these drift areas. We would make it around these turns no problem drifting, and it's just, this car is just not the same, dude. Notice how hard it is to control, not control, but how hard it is to make some of these turns. Ooh, almost hit the wall. Oh, and then I did. All right, let's get going, dude. The nice thing about this car, though, is that you can use the gutters. The other cars are kind of tough to use the gutters because they want to over-rotate quite a bit. Like the second you get them in the dirt. This car actually performs a little bit more like a street car. I can't say exactly, but definitely more. Notice the speed difference too. If you watch the other videos, I was above 200 on this section with the other cars. So this one's just a little bit slower for sure. Way more controllable on the dirt. I was very nervous to take the other cars on the dirt. This one, very controllable. Like I said, it almost performs like a street car. But maybe just a little slower, maybe like a street 1 car maybe. Stay on the pavement. Oh, very close. Oh, I'm going off on this one. I had to slow down. We'll use some NOS. Oh, we had to use so much NOS on that corner. I don't think we're gonna beat our time. We're doing our best here. We're at 34. Oh, we're close. We're close. Oh, 37.0. My best time was a 36.8. So you can see not a whole lot of mistakes. I mean, I went into the grass a little bit here and there, but you know, the best time with the 36.8 at 37.0, it's close. Now, to put this in perspective with the other cars, take a look at what the scores are for these other cars. The Unicorn with a 23 on this course. The Evo X, Hoonigan Evo, sorry, not Evo X, the Hoonigan Evo 9 with a 25 on this course. The Evo 6 GSR Flow Edition with a 27.1. So a 37, 36.8, not really that good. Anyway, let's get out to the Ebisu style drift trial and see what kind of score we can put up. Here is the drift tune. We've got -4 on the final drive, -18 on the grip rear, 75% towards the front of the brake balance, and then moving into the aero, we got -5 on the aero load rear. Suspension, we're going to be at +10, which is maxed. 0 on the rear, +20, 0 on the rear, +20, and 0 on the rear. So we're maxing out the front suspension stiffness and leaving the rear alone. And then for the front ARBs, we're at 0. Rear ARB is at +10, and then -0.25 for the camber front and 0 in the rear. All right, let's see what we can do. Here we go. The car looks great while drifting, not gonna lie. So this one has to be you have to use NOS a little bit. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm fumbling my words, but you got to use NOS a little. And second gear with this tune is your friend. You can keep decent speed in second gear. The car holds an okay angle and it scores pretty well. That was a little bit better than that first lap. I had a little more speed going into that. But it doesn't, it wasn't scoring as high as some of the other cars. It's certainly in the same realm, like it's, you know, high 700s, but it doesn't get close to 8, and that's obviously with me behind the wheel. I'm sure someone who's very skilled at drifting can do a lot better than me. There's a lot of like little tricks like the angle and the speed and the distance that you drift that matter a lot, and I just try to be as consistent as possible and give every car a fair shot at scoring high, and whether they do that or not is maybe up to the car a little bit. With a minute left, we're over 600. I'm sorry, with 30 seconds left, we're over 600. So let's see how we can finish this up. All right, hit 700 right at about... Oh, this is going to be a tough one. I didn't make the corner. That's definitely going to hurt the score. 767, so not my best. My current best for this car is a 778.508, so obviously a lot more points. I definitely messed up that final big long sweeper, so that is what it is. But anyway, you can see the car is okay. It feels really nice to drift. It looks really good, but it's just not the best score. So all around, just not a great car in terms of drifting performance, racing, or drifting. I just can't really recommend that too much. And yeah, we'll see what happens. If we have to use it, we'll use it. If we don't have to use it, thank God. Anyway, thanks for watching this daily build. Thank you so much. I will catch you on tomorrow's daily build. Trigger out.